Assalamu alaikum students, hope you are doing great. So another question number 3 of the same exercise 6C. Okay, again you have to make the variables that are present in a square bracket the subject of your formula, right? In question number 3, you have to do it just the same way you have done question number 1 and 2. So let me start with part A first. In part A, I have given under root with a value 3 on it, h minus k equals to m, and you have to find out, or you have to make h the subject of the formula. Okay, so in this equation, first of all, see that h minus k is present inside the root, inside the cube root. Why it is cube root? Because it has a value 3 on it. So it is a cube root. It means I can also write it like this: h minus k having a power of 1 upon 3. Why? Because I know that under root has a value 1 upon 2. It has a power 1 upon 2. And if I have any other value present on root, then you have to change the denominator according to that value. That is 1 upon 3, the cube root. And if it is the value 4 present over here, then you can write, instead of root, you can write it 1 over 4. So the denominator will be changed according to the value present over here. So I can write h minus k to the power 1 upon 3. Now it is equals to m. If I want to find out, or I want to separate h, I want to just take out this h from the bracket present. I have to take this h, the variable h, out of the bracket. How I can do that? By removing this 1 upon 3. The bracket has a power 1 upon 3 on it. So I have to find out any number that can be multiplied with 1 upon 3 so that the 3 can be cancelled from the denominator. What I'm saying that in this case, 1 upon 3 needs to be removed so that you can take h minus k out of the bracket. So you have to multiply 1 upon 3 with the reciprocal of this number. 1 upon 3 has a reciprocal 3 upon 1, or you can say only 3. 1 upon 3, if multiplied with 3, then 3 and 3 is going to be cancelled and you will have 1. So whenever you have a power that is 1 upon 3, 1 upon 2, 1 upon 4, so you have to multiply that power with its reciprocal value so that it can be cancelled and you can have 1. But keep in mind that whatever you want to do with the equation, you have to do it on both the sides, right? If you want to change, or you want to remove this 1 upon 3, you have to multiply it with 3 so that 3 and 3 can be cancelled and you will get 1. So if you want, if you multiply one side with 3, then it is a must that you have to do the same operation on other side as well. So multiply this m with the power cube. Why? Because this is an external operation. When you do some kind of external operation on your equation in order to solve it, so you have to follow the same thing on both the sides. So this 3 and this 3 is going to be cancelled and the value h minus k is taken out of the bracket. Why? Because now the bracket has the value 1 on it. And we know that if there is a value 1 outside the bracket, so you can easily take that value out of it. It remains same. The value inside the bracket remains same. So h minus k equals to m cube. You can see that m has a cube on it. Why? Because we have multiplied both the sides with 3 so that 1 upon 3 can be removed from h minus k. So this operation needs to be done on both the sides. Now the only thing right now is minus k, that is extra on your left hand side. So minus k, if I want to shift it to the other side, the operation or the sign is going to be changed. Right now it is subtracting from h. Now on the other side it is going to be added plus k with m cube. So h equals to m cube plus k. So this is going to be your answer. I hope it is clear to you. Now let me move towards part B. Okay, in part B, I have B equals to under root D plus 4ac. Again, the same concept. I hope you can do it yourself, but let me do it for you. You have to make D the subject of the formula. So we know that D is present inside the square root. So in order to remove this square root, I have to square on both sides. Squaring on both sides of the equation will remove this square root from D plus 4ac. Squaring on both sides. So it becomes b squared equals to d plus 4ac. The value of square root was 1 upon 2, and since I have squared on both sides so that 1 upon 2 can be cancelled, so it becomes 2 cancel, only 1 is present, and anything that has a power 1 is repeated as it is. D plus 4ac can be taken out of the bracket. So b square equals to d plus 4ac. Now the variable is present on your right hand side. Just flip the equation and d plus 4ac will be now your left hand side, will be shifted on left hand side, and b square on the right hand side. In this way you have flipped the equation. Flipped. After that you have to remove this 4ac. Since you need to make d the subject of the formula, so this plus 4ac must be shifted to the other side. And I have already taught you that if anything is adding on one side, it will be subtracted on the other side. So d equals to b square minus 4ac. This is going to be your answer. So I hope in both the questions you have understood that how you can remove square root, cube root, or any other power present on the root. If the variable is inside the root, then you have to multiply with the reciprocal of that value. If it is 1 upon 2, then you have to multiply it with 2 on both sides. If it is 1 upon 3, you have to multiply it with 3 on both sides. Let's say if it is 1 upon 4, that is present outside your on your variable, then you have to multiply it with 4, the reciprocal of 1 upon 4. So I hope this is understandable now. Let me do part C for you. In C, I have P equals to V square upon R. And you have to find out the value of V over here. This is just the opposite that you have done earlier. Okay, let me find out the value of V, or let me separate V from this given equation. First of all, flip the equation since you have V on right hand side. So just flip the equation. V square upon R equals to P. In the next step, just remove this R. R is present in the denominator. It will be multiplied when it is shifted to the other side. So V square equals to P into R. Now, you need the value of V, not V square. You don't need value of V square. You need the value of V. So you have to remove this power 2. Power 2 can only be removed when it is multiplied with its reciprocal. Right? When you are multiplying it with 1 upon 2, then 2 and 2 will be cancelled and you will get V only. V to the power 1, that is V. So in this case, you have to multiply both the sides with the power 1 upon 2 equals to PR whole power 1 upon 2. Keep in mind, whatever you do on one side, you have to do the same operation on the other side as well. Why? Because this is the rule of the equation, that whenever you are doing some external operation, that you have to follow it on both the sides. So in order to make it V, you have removed the power 2 by multiplying it with 1 upon 2. Then 2 and 2 is going to be cancelled. It becomes V equals to PR to the power 1 upon 2. And we know that 1 upon 2 corresponds to square root. Whenever anything that has a power 1 upon 2, you can write it inside the square root. So you can write under root PR, right? This is going to be your answer. It is same. Either you write power 1 upon 2 or you write the value under square root. Both are same. Okay, let me do part D for you. In part D, I have A equals to theta divided by 360 multiplied by pi r square. In this equation, you have to find out the value of theta. This symbol represented as theta, or you call it as theta, right? So you have to make this theta the subject of your formula. First of all, in the first step, you have to flip the equation. So theta divided by 360 multiplying with pi r square equals to A. Now, one by one, just shift your values that are unnecessary or that are present with theta on the other side. 360. 360 is present in the denominator. It is dividing with the whole value. So it will be multiplied with A. You can write theta multiplied by pi r square equals to 360 multiplied with A. This is the first step in which you have shifted 360 that was present in the denominator to the other side of the equation, and it is multiplied with A then. Now pi r square is multiplying with theta. Since it is multiplying, when you want to shift it to the other side, it will be written in division. So it will be 360a divided by pi r square. This is going to be your answer. In this way, you have made theta the subject of your formula. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope all the parts A, B, C, D are clear to you. Please give me your feedback and thank you so much. Just stay tuned, stay connected and watch another video in which I'm going to do question number 4, the next one. Take care. Allah Hafiz.